Hello everyone. Welcome back to the SQL training program. I hope you have practiced all the queries we learned in the last 5 sessions. Today is the sixth day of our program and we will continue our SQL journey. So just do the recaps of the previous session. So in the previous session, we learned about the distinct, order by, limit and the offset clause. So whenever you are uh, executing the select statement, we have these key clauses along with that. So what's the main use of distinct? The distinct is mainly used to fetch only the unique values. Order by is used to order the data in the ascending or the descending order. In limit is helpful to restrict the number of records we fetch, and offset is specify the position of the rows for retrieving the data. So now today's agenda is we mainly focus today's on the CRUD operation. Means CRUD operation means create, retrieve, update and the delete. Then we will focus on the aggregate function. Then there is a group by and the having clauses. So what is mean by the CRUD operation? So the CRUD is stands, which I already mentioned. It's a create, retrieve, update and the delete. In the create, we are going to create a table and inserting the data into it. Retrieve means we are fetching the data from the table using the select command. Update means we are modifying the rows or records in a particular table using the update command. Delete means we are removing the specific rows from the table using the delete command. So in that, we will see one by one these all the commands. But basically, these all CRUD operations are classified under the SQL commands. So broadly, it is like you can say there are three types of SQL commands. One is the data definition language, another one is a data manipulation language, and the third one is the data query language. So data definition language under this umbrella we deals with the create, alter, and the drop commands. Then under the DML we deal with the insert, update, and the delete command. And in DQL means in the data query language, we mainly concern with the select statements, okay, which is mainly used to query the our database. So, what is the you can say main difference between the CRUD and the SQL commands? So there is a main difference between the CRUD mainly focuses on the create, retrieve, update, and the delete statement, while the SQL commands are mainly focused on the how to define that, how to manipulate it, and how to query the data. So today we will just go to our PostgreSQL and we'll try to cover up all the CRUD operation here. There first we create a table named employee, and we after that we just insert our sample data into it, and then we'll perform the different operation on it. So let's go to PostgreSQL now. We already learned about the CRUD operation. Now we are going to learn about the aggregate functions. What is an aggregate function? The aggregate function is used in database and the data analysis also to perform the calculation on the multiple values and return a single value. I will explain this practically in our PostgreSQL tool. First, we see how many types of the aggregate functions are present, which are help us to summarize our data. So the first one is the count, which help us to count the records. Then there is a sum operation, sum aggregate function, which is used to calculate the total number of rows on the basis of some conditions. Then average, to find the average, minimum function is used to find a minimum value in the table. Then maximum as depends upon how to what is the to identify the maximum value in the data. So let's start to do the practically the use of the aggregate functions. If you remember, as I mentioned in the first video, throughout this school we will be diving into the PostgreSQL. Now today I will show you how we can do the PostgreSQL online through the SQLite tool, so which help us to maybe more feasible if you don't want to install PostgreSQL on your desktop. So let's practice on that also today. So I will just share my screen and show you how the SQLite will be help us to run the PostgreSQL query. Let's start to how we can use the aggregate function in the SQLite where we use PostgreSQL. So I will show you how to use PostgreSQL online. So let me share the screen of PostgreSQL. Okay, so this is our screen. It's a SQLiteonline.com where you have the option of SQLite, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, and MySQL. So I just connect the PostgreSQL and try to execute query, and we'll just try to learn different aggregate functions. So let me take my query. We are just going to create the employee table. Try to I just copy my SQL here and try to execute. So table employee table is created. Let me cross check by executing the select statement here. Okay, so it's already present. It is doesn't giving me any error. Now we are trying to insert data inside it. So I just execute it. Now my data is inserted. Let me just confirm it by executing the select statement. So its data is already executed here. Now it's present here. Now let me try about the count functions. So there is a different types of the count functions which we can just try to execute step by step. Okay. So let's start from the first one. Count the number of the employees present in the table. So I just said select count star as this as is the alias which we are using. So if I didn't use this alias, okay, so let me show you what happened from the employee table. So it gives us the count of the 6. But if you see here, there is no name for the field. So it doesn't we cannot understand what it means by that. So for that we are providing the alias which help us to make our data more readable. So I just say is the number of employees, and now I am trying to execute it. So it shows me number of employees is a 6. Now the another one is the which is help us to see the distinct department in the our table. Let me first show you how many department we have. So as I say, select department from employee. Okay. So if I do like that, It's showing the number of the departments corresponding to the employees. But if you see here, we can see the repetitive data here. So for that reason, if I say distinct, so distinct is just help us to remove the repetitive data, and it will say there is a primarily there is only two departments, one is IT and the HR. And if you want to count it, so here this is the statement which we can use to count the department for the employee table. So if I try to run this, it's give me the value of the 2. So main thing here is that to focus that in the count function we can use with the distinct keyword as well. Now the third example is that if we want to count the number of employees within the specific range of the salary, so for that also we can do this statement where we can say the count the number of the employees whose salary is between 30,000 to the 40,000. And if I try to run this query, it shows me the 2. But before doing that, if I just present data before here, so let me try first run this data. So if you see here, how many employees are between 30,000 to 45,000? So there is of one, it is less than. So I think the it should be more than 30,000 and it is a less than 45,000. So more than 30,000 is the second number employee, then you can say the third, fourth. Okay, so there are the three employees right now which have the salary more than 30,000. But another condition is that it should be less than 45,000. So less than 45,000 is only the employee ID 2 and the 3. So our data which we get it here, if I do it, click it again, is give me the 2. So this is the correct. Okay, let me just give his the you can say alias which provide the in the employee in salary range, or you can say anything employee, and you can just type it here 30,000 and 45,000. So maybe it makes data more readable and you can understand also. Okay. Now the next one is that you can say the date. What is the difference? If you can see here, here it is the given the sign of the less than and the greater than. Here we say the between this and this. So let's me try. Let me just show you. So here is giving the 4. Why? So let me show you the let's start from employee. I'll already explain you why it shows you the employee which is has a less than more than 30,000 and less than 45,000. That scenario we already seen, and we get to know why there is only two count they given, because there is only the two employees which has the salary more than 30,000 and less than the 45,000. In this scenario, what they said, if there is an employee which has a salary between 30,000 and 45,000. So let's see here how many are there between. So it should be more than 30,000 and it should be up to the 45,000. So there is of one employee, second employee, third employee and the fourth employee, because here they didn't say it should be more than 30,000. It may equal to 30,000 and it may equal to the 40,000 45,000. So that's the reason we are getting here the count of number of employees are 4, because they are between the range of that. So this is the scenario where we can achieve, or we can evaluate, or we can take an insight of our data, that how many employees are there, what is the salary range of our employees. There are so many performance criteria, and we can say the evaluate our data on the basis of this count function. So here I'm already missed the one alias. So I just let me try to provide the alias to get our data more readable. You can say the employee between the range of the 30,000 to the 45. So now it's readable. So you can say 4. So like that, these are the using of the count function in our SQL. Now let's move to the another aggregate function. So our next aggregate function is sum, average, minimum, and the maximum function. So let's see how we can execute the SQL queries for these functions. So let me take the SQL scripts from my documents, and we can try to execute in the PostgreSQL. So this is the query which I am just going to show you on the PostgreSQL, and we'll try to run it here. So how is the sum of function? The sum function will be useful to make the additions of the all the salaries of the employees present in our database. So this is the select sum salary from the employee table. And if I just try to select it and run it. So this is the total salary which we are giving to our employees in the organization. Now, the next function is the average. Average means it helps us to take the average of the salary which we are giving to our employees. So I'm just trying to select it and try to run. So this is the average salary which we are giving to our employees. For that we use the AVG, the average functions. And then another one is the minimum. So minimum is the which help us to find the minimum salary in our employee table. So this is the 20,000. Let me see which employee it is. So you again select it and try to run it. So if you see here, this is the 20,000. The employee has the Suresh, which has the salary of the 20,000. Last one is we can see the maximum salary. So if I select it and if I try to run it, so this is the 45,000. I want to show it again. If I select this again to just confirm it. So if you see here, the 45,000 is the maximum salary to the Rajaram. So like this, you can find out the maximum salary of the person also. Now, the next thing we are going to learn about the where clause. So where clause is mainly used in SQL to filter the records from the table based on the specific condition. It is typically included in the select, update, and the delete statements to, you can say, the narrow down the data being queried or the manipulated. So I will show you the practical example of that, how we can use the where clause and what's the use of the where clause to make the filter our data as per the need. So let me copy my basic queries from the, you can say, from the document, and I will show you how we can use it. Okay, so let me try to run it here only. Okay, so here, if I just want to select the employee from the department HR, So what I need to do, select star from the employee where department is the HR. If I try to select it, if you see how many employee from the HR, 1, 2 and 3. So 3 rows will be getting populated if I run this query. So let me try. If I run this query, so it's a 3 rows are populated here. So same thing, if I try to do with the IT department, I just change my where clause, where condition, and there I put it department is equal to IT. So there it gives me again the 3 records. Here also you can put multiple where conditions. If I say I want a department, if somebody asks me that I want to see the data from the you can say from the IT department, as well as I want to see the data from the, if I want to see the data from the IT department, as well as I want to see the from IT department which the person who has the salary more than 40,000. So for that, I just need to put one more condition where I said the salary is greater than 40,000. And if I try to run this query, it's give me the only one record. So like that, you can put the multiple conditions to filter out your data and to get the data which you needed for your visualization or for your UI, anything. The next one is that update. So the update statement is used to modify or to alter your data. For example, here I just want to run our table again to execute our select statement for our table again, and let me try. So if you see here, what they said in the update statement, there is the name Priya and Ravi Kiran. This both employee has the location is Hyderabad, but maybe they relocate and they now want to update their location. So for that we need to use the update statement where we use the where statement. So if I select this statement and try to run it, so as per it should be updated. So let me see again. I execute the statement. It is not, it is done now. See, the Priya and the Ravi Kiran has the location now Chennai. Okay, here the sequence is not come properly, so I just said order by ID. So your data will be selected by the order by. So it's now like that. It's a sequence wise. So here you can see the changes in their location. Then the one more example you can say, if you can want to, there is the employee whose ID is 6 and we want to change his location also. We want to update his location also. So for that you can say the update name of the employee, name of the table, it's employee, then what you want to set, okay, and where you which place you want to do. So in update statement there is the two things are important, what you want to alter or what you want to fix, what you want to change the value, and where it is. So two things are important here. So you for that you need to use the set and the where keyword. So here I said set location Mumbai where ID is the 6. So let me try to select it and run it. I think our data is updated now. Let me confirm it by selecting the data. So if you see here, this employer D6 has changed the location to the Mumbai. Now the next one is that delete statement. In the delete statement, we are just keeping only the where keyword or where clause. In that where clause, you can provide multiple conditions. Here I said where ID is equal to 6. I want to delete that record from my table. If that employee has left our organization, so we cannot keep, we don't need to keep the data of that employee. So for that, I said I just delete from the employee. Now let me try to select it and try to run. So if you see here, that row is already deleted from our table. As I said, you can keep the multiple condition also here, but this is the ID, so it is not, it's a unique value that employee has, so we don't need to put the extra condition here. We can keep the extra condition here that delete from the employee where salary is between 30,000 to 40,000. That you can try as a practice at your as a homework. Okay. Now our next slide is about the having clause. So having clause is mainly used for, or you can say after, the aggregate functions. What are the aggregate functions? Just now we learned there is a count, sum, average, minimum, and the maximum are the aggregate functions. So in the having, it's mainly used with these aggregate functions. Okay, and there we are also using the, you can say, we are also using the where clause and the having clause. So what's the exact difference between the where clause and the you can say having clause? So it's a difference here. Where clause are mainly used to filter the rows before grouping or the aggregations, and having clause are used filters the group's data after the aggregations. So you can say it comes before group by and it comes after group by. So let me show you here. So if here you can say there is a where clause here, select department sum of salary as a total salary from employee where the salary is greater than 3,000. It's grouped by the department. Okay, so if you see here, the where clause is used before the group by statement, and having clause we use after the group by statement, and this is the aggregate function we are using here. So if you want to put any filter on this aggregate function, we use the having clause. So these are the exam. This is the explanation of that. What we mean to by this. So where the filter out the employees whose earning is less than 3,000 before grouping, groups remaining row by department, and filter the group result where the total salary exceeds the 10,000. So let me try to run these statements. We now come to the SQL script document. Let me select the query which we want to run with the help with the group by and the having clause, and try to execute in our Postgre SQL, or you can say our the SQL editor. So here I am doing. So let me select it and try to run it. First we see which data is present right now. So this is the data, our employee data is there. Now our condition is that we are doing the sum of the salary as the total salary on the basis of the department, and there is the salary is greater than 10,000. So if you see here, each department employee has a salary greater than 10,000. And now there other thing is like where the salary is also the greater than where the sum of the salary is greater than 10,000. So this is the sum of the salary on the basis of the department, and here only the salary of the person is greater than 3,000, but instead of that we can say 30,000, because average salary you can see here it's more than 20,000 we can keep otherwise. So I think 20,000 is a good number. So let's try to execute it. So if you see here, there is a two departments majorly. One is the IT, another one is the HR, and this is the total salary on the department wise for the each employee. And where the employee has more than 30,000, I think all have the more than 30,000. Let's try to change the condition. Here they said 20,000, so it's all included here, because more than only I think the one person is not getting to be included. Otherwise, everything will be getting included in the sum of the department. So in the HR department, and there is the IT department. So like that we can keep it the same condition. I think it will be not any thing is okay. Now if we want to practice more about the group by clause, so I have some statements, SQL statements, which we can practice and we get a more idea about the group by and then having also. So let's start to do some more practice on the group by statements. So I have here, there's a select location and a count star as the number of employee from the employee group by location. So what exactly will be happen? Let's see here. So I'm just trying to take it here, and what exactly they said, you have to select the location and the number of the employees from that particular location. Here everybody is from the Hyderabad, so I think it will just give the count of the six. If I show you here, so it will be the six, that's true. um, then if I say here, let me try to change some location, so it will be practice also for us. Let me try to execute the update statement. Okay, for that first we just select the employee table. So here if I want to update this one, the Suresh row, so if I say update, so if I say update employee, okay, employee table, set, okay, what you want to set here, set location equal to Mumbai, where ID is equal to 6. Okay, and let me try it. So it's done. I think let me confirm it by running the statement. So it is done. So I updated now the location, and let's try to run this query again. Now it's already changed. So as per the result, it will be the 5. So if you see here, the Mumbai is 1 and the Hyderabad. So on the basis of the location, if you want to sort it out your data, that from which location, how many employees are there. So with have like group by, you can grouping the location and you are grouping the employees on the basis of the location. So that's the one thing. Let's see the another query which we have. The another query is, you can say we can group by on the multi. Here we did group by on the single column, as you see on the location only. Now we are doing the grouping on the multiple columns. So let's try to run it. Now I'm doing the grouping on the department and the location. So as per the location and as per the department, we are going to select it and try to run it. So he's here. So they have the Hyderabad and IT department there is a 3 employees from the Hyderabad, but department is different, HR, and they have the 2 employees, and there is a Mumbai location also, but there is the HR and the, so you can see here they group by on the basis of department, on the basis of the location. So that we use here multiple columns. Only the thing is like whatever on what locate on what thing you want to do the group by, you have to specify that things here and you are in your select statement as well. Okay, now the next one is, you can see here, the next one we have where clause. We are using here the where clause. It's a multiple columns as before, but now we are using here the where clause. Where clause always we are using before the group by, and having clause we are using after the group by. So let's see this one. Okay, now I'm just keeping what it's the same query, but only here we are keeping the where clause, which provides the conditions. Okay, so let's try to select it and run it. So you see here only there are the 2 employees which has a salary greater than 35,000, which they are from Hyderabad and IT department. So like that you can sort it out your data, and you can go more in deep insights, and you will get more deep insights, and you can finalize, or you can predict the model, or you can predict the result, how it will be from where this employees. So many things you can do on that. It's a exploratory data analysis, you can say. Now there is the, let me try to execute this statement. Okay, so it's the same query, and let me try with the where clause. So it's showing me the error because, as I told you, here the where clause always should be before the group by, it not be after the group by. So that we already did here, and because of that this query run properly here. Now the last thing is about the having clause. How we are using the having clause. As you see here, there is the from employee, then there is a group by location, and there is the having clause. The having clause I use on my only on my the aggregate function, because here I am already using it. So let me show you, or you can say I can just run where clause, everything will be together here. So it will be easy for you also to find out. So let me try to run it with the where clause here. I will add the condition. So here, this is my employee, there is a having clause, and let me try to put where clause also, where salary greater than, you can say 35,000. Now let me try to run this query. Okay, I already run it, and it's giving me the result also. So here it's a same thing, because count is already greater than, having the count also greater than 1. If I keep it here 3, if the count is greater, then let's see what will be the result. There will be the no any empty result will be getting returned, because the it's a only 2 employees are available there. So if I say greater than 2 also, it will give me the empty result. There will be nothing returned from this query. So because only the 2 is employees, but if I say 1, then it definitely give us the result. So that's it from my side for this video. We have learned group by and having clause, and you can also practice at your home more about these clauses. So this is done from, we have done now today about the where clause and the things. Now we already learn about CRUD operations, aggregate functions, and the having and the group by clause. In the next video, we're going to learn about the joins, outer join, inner joins, and the self joins and the unions. It is also very one of the interesting topics that we will definitely see in our next section. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe our channel for more such videos. Thank you.